Is there a connection between Marilyn Monroe and Jackie Kennedy to Gilmore Girls? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, this is Silver Screen Freak, and I'm here with a video on something that I think could be totally random. I thought of whilst watching Gilmore Girls for the billionth time, and thought I'd just think out loud for y'all. Okay, so my theory is that Lorelai is meant to represent Marilyn Monroe and Emily's meant to represent Jackie Kennedy. Now, am I completely delusional? Let's see. Look at this picture and tell me that does not exude Mrs. Jacqueline Lee Kennedy energy. The hair, the clothes, the shades. Emily could be Jackie Kennedy's doppelganger, or at the very least, body double. Now we have Marilyn Monroe. I know she doesn't look much like Lorelai, but hear me out. One of Marilyn Monroe's most iconic characters she has ever played is from a movie called Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. That's where the scene comes from. And you know what her character's name is? Lorelai. Lorelai Lee, to be exact, and that is the very name Lorelai names her daughter Rory.
Lorelai Lee Gilmore.
Also, side note, it's quite a coincidence that both women have Lee in their names, huh? I feel like this can't be a coincidence because the show's writing is known to be jam-packed with pop culture references. So many references that more than half probably go over our heads. And to have one of their lead characters kind of emulate Jackie Kennedy and their other lead character to have the same name as Marilyn Monroe's iconic character, I mean, it had to have been done intentionally, right?
I want to marry him for your money.
There. Oh, Lorelai.
And if all else fails, you can marry rich.
I love that we always have that option.
Now, I did do a little digging, and creator Amy Sherman Palladino has never acknowledged this, but here are reasons why I think it was done intentionally. And if not, then what in the world, because it all lines up so perfectly. I think most people know this, but in case you don't or are not familiar with American history and pop culture, I'll give a brief intro. Jacqueline Lee Kennedy was the wife of President John F. Kennedy, and he very infamously had an affair with the biggest movie star of that era and probably of all time, Marilyn Monroe. She sang happy birthday to him and everything. Now, since there have always been like this romanticized feud over the two women, it's also become a way to label women as well.
If I'm gonna be a senator, well, I need to marry a Jackie, not a Marilyn.
Blondes and brunettes, Marilyns and Jackies. So to be labeled a Jackie, I think the connotations that usually go along with it are that you're wifey material, you're graceful, you're responsible, you're smart. You're the type of person that a husband would be very proud to introduce as his wife. Marilyn and her character Lorelai would stereotypically be labeled as bimbos, sexy, gold diggers, materialistic, girls who like to have fun, non-wifey material. So what does this mean to have Lorelai as Marilyn and Emily as Jackie? I think there are two levels to this. The first one is kind of like the obvious level, which it's that making Lorelai the Marilyn and Emily the Jackie is to really show the difference between both women. The show starts off with them butting heads and not getting along at all. So just to drive home on that. But I don't believe in this level so much as the second level, and I'll let you know why. So the second reason why I think they did this is to kind of reshape what it means to be a feminist, to reshape what it means to be a Marilyn, and also just to negate and just like destroy this notion that women can be labeled and have expectations about them based on what they're labeled as. So let me get into it. Amy Sherman Palladino is known for writing strong, complex female characters who don't need to rely on men, and in a lot of ways, Gilmore Girls is a feminist show that was ahead of its time. And what I love about this theory is that it's reclaiming what it means to be a Marilyn, because as I'm sure you could guess, the connotations associated with being a Marilyn are not exactly a compliment. So Lorelai representing Marilyn is saying, yes, you can have an affinity for traditionally girly things like pink and glitter and still be a smart, independent woman. It's not mutually exclusive. Lorelai is a single mom who works hard, owns her own successful business, and loves makeup and romance, and it does not make her any less.
You dressed up a hammer?
No, my mother did. She does that. She takes things that aren't pretty and makes them pretty, like a hammer.
I have vanilla chocolate strawberry and toasted marshmallow. This is the last time I buy anything just because it's furry.
And by the way, I don't know if you know this, but it was said that Marilyn had a very high IQ. She was a very smart woman. She was very well read. Sources say that she had over 400 books in her library, most of which were about art, drama, poetry, politics, psychology, philosophy, theology, and history. She used to write poems in her free time. Basically, she was a lot more than the persona the public was shown.
If you happen to have blonde hair, you know, naturally or not naturally, however, or if you're not out of shape in some way, you're absolutely dumb. I mean, you're considered dumb. I don't know why that is. I think it's a very limited view.
So another reason why I don't really believe in the first surface level reasoning behind this is because in my previous video, I talked about how we are made to think that Lorelai and Emily are polar opposites. But when I dug into it, they are actually so alike in every way. They're both strong. They're both efficient. They both love fashion and style. And they're witty. They're funny and they're leaders. So basically, being called a Marilyn and a Jackie should both be taken as an awesome compliment because these two women, Marilyn Monroe and Jackie Kennedy, fierce, right? Amazing women, smart, intelligent, beautiful, who quite frankly got screwed over by one man. Pitting two women against each other over a man is so not it. Which, if you haven't noticed, despite the drama that Gilmore Girls has, not once has any of the lead female characters ever had a fight with each other over a man, which is saying something. Because the other teen or drama shows that were playing at this time, and even still today, would most often than not always have at least one love triangle written into the plot, or the whole show would be shaped from that, but not Gilmore Girls.
Oh, goody, I get to guess. Well, let's see. Perhaps you're arguing over the same boy?
Sure. We're girls, so we could only be arguing about a boy, right? Sexist white-haired.
Taris, are you muttering?
No.
Okay, so going back to the argument that Lorelai representing Marilyn is a way to deconstruct these insane notions of how a woman should behave based on their labels. I just wanted to note that, Gilmore Girls came out in the late 90s and early 2000s, and I was there. I was alive. I existed at that time. And I remember thinking that to be open about liking pink and liking typically girly things like my love for Hilary Duff, I felt like I was opening myself to being made fun of and ridiculed. And I thought that to be taken seriously, you had to be a little bit more sporty. You had to dress a certain way, less colors, more, monotone. And I know it's not like that now, which I'm so happy about, but I just want to give context into what kind of society we were living in back in the day, and having Gilmore Girls be there and having Lorelai be such a great role model was so comforting. To have two incredibly intelligent women who were self-sufficient, independent, very knowledgeable on so many different things, and they're unapologetically themselves. They love girly stuff, they love makeup, they love furry, glittery things. It was just really refreshing to see. Anyways, getting back to it, I don't know if this was Amy Sherman Palladino's intention or not, but this just further proves how beautifully complex these characters are crafted, which just goes to show that nothing is black and white, or should I say blonde and brunette. So anyways, let me know down in the comments if I missed out on anything or if you think I'm totally wrong. Please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. It means so much to me. I'm so close to 2,000. It's unbelievable. I love doing this for you guys, so I'll see you next time. Bye!